Today I took Aries on his first ponied trail ride. I rode the 2,200-pound Belgian Tonka. I figured if Aries felt like being stubborn, he could pull all he wanted against Tonka and get nowhere. But he did wonderfully. He immediately settled in behind the big tank and strolled along the trail. Down by the turtle pond, there is a pontoon boat. We always pass it, and today Aries passed it, although he was a bit suspicious of it. No trouble going over the narrow dam? I suspect not much is going to bother Aries once we start going out on trails. He's probably seen it all. As we got back to the barn, Picasso came running over to let us know he did not appreciate being left behind. On Friday, I took my first ride on Aries since moving him to Chancellor Ranch. It was warm and sunny, just the right weather for a ride. Aries has been learning to tie at the tie rail. I am using a blocker tie and not hard tying him just yet. We started out by reviewing what we had learned with Miranda in our last lesson. Go when asked and go quickly. Aries is tame, to me at least. He is not really wild anymore. Now comes the task of getting him to give over leadership completely. You will see in today's video that he hasn't quite done that yet, and there are consequences. Notice as he circles around me how he sort of checks out mentally and looks around, not really paying attention to me anymore. After I climb up on him, we review our direct and indirect turns. He is doing them, but sort of reluctantly. He is fighting me, and I incorrectly let him get away with it because he did do the turn. That's enough, right? Wrong. I stopped doing turns and went out to the rail. Aries didn't want to go into any of the corners, so I asked him to walk straight into a corner and stop. Once he stood still, I asked him to walk along the rail to the next corner and stop and be still. And this is the beginning of trouble. You see how he is fighting me? This will be a lesson in letting a horse get away with too much. Here he completely blows off my request and goes the other way. I am no longer in control. So I leap off and immediately go after the offending body part. The hindquarters he refused to yield. So the problem is, Aries has reached a point where he is tame and not really afraid anymore, but he hasn't given over leadership. This little demonstration here was his way of showing me I am still in charge and I can do what I want. This cannot be allowed to continue. Aries was no doubt a herd stallion, and as Miranda later pointed out to me, he has battle wounds all over him, including his face. That means he went head to head with other stallions. If I want his respect, I have to prove my worth as a leader. That doesn't mean hurting him, but he must respect my requests. Otherwise, he could choose to hurt me at any moment. And if you saw the first few episodes of this series, you will see he has no problem in doing that. Now that I have his attention, I want him to give me his head when I ask for it. I should not have to ask very hard, just with my fingertips. If I need to use anything more, he's blowing me off again. Horses are very subtle animals. They communicate with minute body gestures. Aries is quite skilled at these gestures. So much so that I miss some of them. That is what has led to my current predicament. He has gotten away with offering just enough, saying, "I did what you asked, now leave me alone." When what he should be thinking is, "Oh, what did you want? Oh, here, let me get that for you." And that is how he would treat a lead horse in the wild. So that's how he needs to treat me. I got him feather light with yielding his head, so we went back to working on corners. Here Aries does a beautiful hindquarter yield. This is the same move that he nearly ran away with me earlier. After one lovely loop around the arena with a confident forward walk, not avoiding the corners, I called it a day and hopped off. Now to tackle that surly attitude. I asked Miranda out for another lesson. I will do my best to explain to you what happened, but it's hard to show. Firstly, Miranda asked Aries to stop leaning on her. What he's been doing is subtly tipping his hindquarters in, as if to say, I could kick you if I wanted to. It's a very subtle, rude gesture, and she called him out on it and asked him to point his hiney someplace else. What we are looking for is a deep step under with the inside hind foot. So far, Aries is stepping under, but in a crouched position, ready to spring off that leg, not a relaxed, yielding position. Notice in between asking him to move away from the whip, Miranda tosses the whip over him, ensuring he is not afraid of it, just respectful. Slowed this down so you could see. Coming up, he takes a couple of deep, relaxed, straight leg steps, and Miranda demonstrates what he just did. This is what we want, relaxed yielding, not crouchy, springy legs. Here Miranda mimics what he is doing instead of taking relaxed, deep steps. And the nose. Miranda also believes Aries is just holding out on that nose, saying, I'd rather you not touch me there. So she gets really clumsy with petting him, not concerned with whether he pulls away or not. This is all about what is going on in Aries' head. Here are some beautiful deep steps over. He has to relax to do this, and the way we knew that what we were doing was working was as the lesson progressed, Aries got A, more obedient, and B, more relaxed. He's not quite to the point of dropping his head and becoming putty, but it's a step. Here, Aries does his now favored evasion, the rear and spin. This is Aries quitting. He'd rather not try anymore. Horses thrive on discipline. They live in a world of discipline when they are in a herd. This behavior here is Aries without discipline. It's my job to provide it. Sometimes, as horse owners, we need to do what our horses need, whether we like to or not. Miranda tackles his evasion head on and makes Aries go back the way he came. As with all learning, everyone reaches a saturation point and needs a few minutes to process. Miranda always gives Aries these little respites so his hamsters can catch their breath and process all the new ideas. Here, Miranda goes back to the nose petting. A lot of people accept what their horse gives them without regard for the mindset the horse is in when they give it. I think the most important thing is what the horse is thinking when they offer you something. If they offer it grudgingly, where is the reward? Where is the relationship? All that is happening is that the horse is doing what you ask, but not caring to do it well or with any commitment. I'd rather my horse do something for me because they want to. The more Miranda clumsily pets his nose, the better Aries gets about it. This is also a clue that he is just holding out. He isn't just afraid. Look at how much better that is. He almost doesn't resist at all. And this isn't a horse that is given up and is submitting to the inevitable. He is finally accepting it. And now it's my turn. I logically can understand all that Miranda is telling and showing me. But coordinating my cues, and my whip, and my rope, and my feet, and my hands, that will take some time. I repeat what Miranda had done, asking Aries to yield his hindquarters away from me and move forward nicely on the circle, not leaning either his shoulders or his hindquarters on me. This last circle was beautiful. He did it on the first request. He was soft. He kept his hiney off of me and stopped like a gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I call a good day.